It was in 2017 when Hero showcased the XPulse concept, a lightweight off-roading motorcycle. Then at the Auto Expo in 2018, Hero confirmed that they'll put this bike into production. However, for a whole year we didn't hear anything from them. Now it's 2019 and the XPulse has finally seen the light of the day. What you see here is the production version of the XPulse concept. Again, the basics are the same. It's a proper off-road motorcycle. It's based on the Extreme 200R. That means it gets the same engine, but otherwise everything has been engineered to make it go off-road. So could you say that good things come to those who wait, or is it too little too late here? Well, to find out, we are going to ride this motorcycle in its natural habitat. We have come to the Big Rock Dirt Park in Bangalore. Proper off-road zone. There is everything here that you can throw at it. And so we are going to put this bike to its paces here, and let's find out if it really is a proper lightweight entry-level off-road motorcycle. As you can see, this is a bare basic design, and Hero is making no bones about it, because this bike is not supposed to be aesthetically pleasing. It's all about function over form here. So let's get down to the main bits. First of all, let's talk about the suspension. It gets long travel suspension both ends. The front suspension has a travel of 190 mm, and the rear, that is a monoshock, has a travel of 170 mm. Then as you can see, the exhaust is mounted higher up so that when you fall, you don't damage this thing. Other off-road oriented things here include this hand guard, there's a small windscreen, and then there's an engine bash plate here. So let's talk about the riding posture. It's very nice and comfortable. The handlebar is higher up, so that means when you go off-roading, you can stand on the pegs. Apart from that, the seat height is quite accessible because it's only 823 mm. So that means for my 5'8" frame, I can get my feet down easily. I mean, it doesn't feel too tall. In terms of feature and equipment, it gets a nice all-digital instrument cluster. There is also Bluetooth connectivity, so you can connect your smartphone to the setup here, and it also gets navigation. Plus, there are LED headlamps. The fuel tank has a capacity of 30 liters, and the bike weighs just 154 kilograms. Braking duties are done by disc brakes at both ends. It comes with a pedal disc at front, that's 276 mm, and the rear disc is 220 mm. But the important thing to notice here is it gets only single channel ABS, which when you're off-roading is what you want.
The fit and finish on the bike isn't the best though. The plastics feel flimsy and the paint quality could have been better. The instrument cluster, however, looks very good and it's very easy on the eye with its large and clear layout. The Bluetooth connectivity and navigation system can be iffy at times, as it kept on unpairing my phone during the ride. As mentioned earlier, the 200cc engine is the same as the Extreme 200R, and this means that it's a refined and smooth motor with a very strong low end and mid-range performance. This motor loves to be revved, and paired with a smooth and short ratio gearbox, it feels very eager. That said, the top end performance is weak and nothing to write home about. Of course, this one here gets a bigger sprocket compared to the Extreme 200R for a better high speed, but even then it struggles to hit 120 kmph on the speedo. And when you're doing triple digit speeds, the vibrations from the handlebar and foot pegs are very prominent. So if you plan to ride it within city, it's a decent bike, but out on highways and long distance rides, you'd want more poke. And since we are on the subject of touring, the saddle isn't the most comfortable for long rides either, as the seat is hard and narrow. While the XPulse doesn't feel special enough for the road, it all changes when you get off it, because it's simply brilliant there. With its long travel suspension, crisp throttle response and short gear ratios, the XPulse is a hoot to ride on uneven surfaces. What I really loved about it is that it's very friendly and forgiving to newbies. The feather-light weight, the balance of the chassis, the handling, everything will inspire you to push it harder lap after lap. For example, while the suspension feels decidedly firm on the road, it works wonders when you go off-road. The balance between compression and rebound damping is very well calibrated, and I can't remember an instance where the front forks bottomed out. And this shows that there is a hand of Hero's Motorsport division and CS Santosh in developing and fine-tuning the XPulse. However, if you don't want an off-road bike and want something that's better for the road, there's one more version of the XPulse.
So this right here is the second variant. It's the XPulse 200T. Now T here stands for touring. That means this bike is more road focused. So as a result, there are a lot of changes. First of all, it doesn't get spoke wheels. Instead, it gets alloy wheels, and they're smaller in size, 17-inch on both ends. Now coming to the suspension setup, it has the exact same front fork, 37 mm dia, but the travel is short. So that means this has a travel of only 130 mm. At the back also it gets a monoshock, but this is 7-step preload adjustable. Now the biggest mechanical change in this motorcycle is the fact that it comes with a carburetor and not a fuel injection unit. As per Hero, they have done this to keep the costs in check. Apart from that, the performance is identical. Even the engine specification, it has the same power and torque figures. So performance wise, there is no difference per se.
Although the 200T has the same underpinnings, it feels completely different to ride. I felt the engine to be a little less refined and the ride quality was even stiffer. The top speed is also lower at 115 kmph as it has a smaller sprocket as compared to its off-road sibling. But on tarmac, the 200T feels better and more agile to ride because of its 17-inch tires and lower center of gravity. But given the price difference between the two, I have to say the XPulse 200 is better package overall. Both the bikes get single-channel ABS and disc brakes on both ends. The brakes have a wooden feel and lack feedback, but the braking performance is satisfactory. One thing that I found impressive in this regard is the ABS calibration, because it's less intrusive and doesn't kick in abruptly, and this really matters when you're riding on loose surfaces or gravel.
So now that we have ridden both the versions of the XPulse, it's verdict time. So between these two, the XPulse and the 200T, I'd any day go for this one, the off-road version. And the reason for that is simple, because for me, this is a complete bike. It does everything that the 200T does, but I think this one does it slightly better. See, off-road, it's fantastic. Even on-road, it's better than the 200T. It has got a high top speed. It's more comfortable, and I found it to be more refined. But that aside, the main thing to notice here is that Hero has absolutely hit the nail on the head here. You see, they set out to make an affordable, lightweight off-road motorcycle, and they have really aced it. What I really love about this motorcycle is, first, it's light, the balance is superb, the handling is fantastic, the braking, the chassis, everything feels top-notch. And if you're a beginner at off-roading like myself, I think this is a great learning tool.